Hey there, people. Sorry I'm late. Oh, hi, Mr. Wizard. Sorry I'm late. Oh, yeah, I guess it is working good. Let's see. I'm gonna see how many. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I gotta share it with the Twitter crowd or the X crowd. I forgot. Okay. All right. Come on, baby. Come on, X. Hurry up. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where am I? Yeah, there I am. Okay. Yeah, at least you can hear me, Mr. Wizard. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you can hear me. Wait, am I talking loud enough? I hope I am. Yeah, yeah. You live in apartments. You gotta follow the dumbest rules. I tell you, I follow the stupidest rules. Yeah, yeah. That's what you do. Mm. Good. And I've just been resting up a little bit, and yeah, rested too much. I guess sometimes I'm so old. I rest and forget. I rest and forget. Yeah, I'm good at that. Yeah, rest and forget. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right. See, is everything working? I get. Yeah. Okay, there we are. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Now this month I'm going to be minus money again, buying all that insure and I've been spending more money than I have, and it's not even my fault. I was looking forward to a good life, and all I get is drawbacks. And I tell my family, they just say, "Oh, well, not my problem." Typical family members I have. Yeah, well, they don't talk to me anymore. They just dislike me now. That's fine. That's fine. They dislike me. They dislike me. Nothing I can do about it. They have their money. They have their friends with money. They don't let me in because I'm poor. They hate poor people. Those rich relatives. They think poor people like me are nothing. And you wild horse fans too that are poor. And you are something. Remember, you are something. Don't let those people tell you you're nothing. Okay? Because I care about you, especially those that have nothing. You know. Mm. Oh, this is good. Mm. Nummy num num. So good. Mm. Mm. So good. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. 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 There. I'm so good. Huh. Mm. These gummies are darn good. Huh. Yeah. Huh. I should be probably up most of the night now. Keep me from sleeping. Just keep me from sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to be on earlier, but I forgot. I got a bunch of laundry to do. Yeah. Somebody left. Well, thank you for stopping by, whoever the person is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and I got to remember that at Walmart, I got to buy some condensed soup cans. Got to buy about $10, $20 worth, I guess. Say it says 10 days for my Ford credit card to come, so that's good. That's good. Yeah. I can take it to Ford and use my Ford credit card so I get Ford rewards points in case I got to put on brakes in my car or something. Because eventually I'm going to need brakes. I try not to climb up and down the hills too much because then the person's going to use their brakes more. And those brake repair jobs aren't cheap. Especially you take it to Ford. Yeah, they'll charge a lot of money, but they can fix the vehicle. That's a nice thing. At least just like that one garage I went to in Mankato. I'm going to give it a name. I don't care. It's called Toppers Plus. I don't know. I'm going to have them check on my trailer thing. I'm sure they did a good job. The guy left grease all over my dashboard, my steering wheel, my shifter, on the seats. Took me 3 days to wipe it all up. It's full of grease. Full of grease. It was disgusting. So disgusting. Yeah. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, like this. Like this. Sock full of grease. Imagine that. A sock full of grease. Disgusting. Yeah, Toppers Plus called. I say you gave it a 3 on Google reviews. I said, yeah. And that's going to stay a 3 too. Sorry. Grease my car. Cost me money to clean it up. Yeah. Yeah. Cost me money. Let's see. I'll have to. All right. And I have to plug in my phone. Where's my cord? There's my phone cord. Put it someplace. I'll find it later. First, I got my 10 o'clock crock-pot meal to eat. I need something to eat. So I'll just eat out of the crock pot. That's what I'll do. So eat it out of the crock pot. Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be very, very fun. Yes. That'll be so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Yeah. So much fun to eat out of the crock pot. Yeah. Yeah. Mush vote until the 27th. I got 27 days to go until I eat mush and mush and condensed soup. That'll be fun. That'll be so much fun to eat that stuff. That'll be so much fun. Yeah. I just can't wait to get my throat stretched so I can eat regular food again. Yeah. One relative did call a couple of times. I was concerned, but one of the relatives, they don't call. They don't care. Oh well, what can I do? You know, yeah, when I did my job in Wadena, they just figured, well, Randy's done enough. We don't need him anymore, so we ignore him. That's what my family does. Yeah, they just ignore me. They just ignore me. They don't care. Oh, this puff's bag is done. Oh, boy. Let me get my scissors. Carrots. Oh, yeah. Get these cute little school boxes. Yeah, you bought it. A 4-pack for like $5.75. Nowadays, that's considered cheap. They've been raising the price of tissue lately. So I bought this only $5.95. Good deal. Yeah, I got enough till winter time at least. And when the winter comes, I'll run out a lot faster. And then I'll just have to buy some more of those. Yeah, what a YouTube show, huh? Maybe cutting the puffs bag. It's ultra soft and strong. It's good. And it's made by Procter & Gamble, I believe, isn't it? Let's see. I'm going to put on my glasses. Oh, God, I can't see. Oh, where's my glasses? Yeah, Procter & Gamble, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where it's made. The garbage, of course. It's plastic. Yeah, I can't recycle plastic. Not that kind of plastic, you can't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, United States don't do much for recycling. Because I know the last time we went to the dump a couple of years ago, you should see how much stuff they put in a landfill. Trucks coming every day full of stuff. Wow. So much stuff. And some of the landfill stuff, of course, they should put in, but they do anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess some areas around the world, they've banned drinking straws. Can't drink out of a straw anymore in some places because they banned it. Yeah, they've created kinds of straws like steel straws or whatever. And I know they tried to sell that at Menards, but then it went on clearance rack right away over there anyway, where I live. Everybody wants those plastic straws where I live. Everybody wants those, I guess. Yeah, no. And then, yeah, see, I've heard lately on the news, somebody drove their car accidentally in the Minnesota River out by Mankato. Probably somebody drunk that doesn't know the area. And going, Easy to fall on those steep hills out in Mankato, you know. Easy to fall down on those hills. Really easy. I remember when I first moved from Wadena to New Ulm, I drove to Mankato. I thought to myself, oh, this is steep. Huh. Yes, it is. Very nice town. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. There's some graffiti like in the back and stuff by the old George's Bar that demolished. That's the one I filmed. Was it over a year ago? Yeah, wait. Yeah, it was like over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Yeah. Yeah, I still got to go back. They got to stretch my esophagus, you know. They got to stretch it because right now I can only eat mush. I can only eat mush and drink liquids for now. Before it's just liquid diet. Now I can eat mush, and I'm kind of making my mush in the kitchen. Real mush food. Yeah, you just put it in my mush machine. It'll last until I go to the hospital. That'll be great. That's all I ask. Because once I can eat solid food again, I'm still going to use it once a month, but eventually it's going to break down in about a year. Because they just don't make things to last like they used to. It's like all plastic and kind of a metal thing that's kind of already wearing out. Crazy. You must make it out of what, thin tin or something? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, eating mush is working. Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Just take it day by day. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, yeah. Earlier today, I went to Mankato. It was really raining outside, and I got an umbrella in the Salvation Army for 325. It actually has metal inside the umbrella. The only problem is that umbrella is like very small, so that umbrella is like for a couple of blocks or something. You know, I can't really walk long distance in it. Well, maybe light. I can walk in it in light rain, but not if it's pouring rain, like today. Yeah, today I was walking in the pouring rain, and that wind was just kicking around and almost blew the umbrella away. That was fun. Yeah, yeah. I kind of walked by the college this morning, and yeah, nothing. And I didn't. No, I didn't walk to the college. I just walked up the hill by the college and walked back down the same hill, and I just went straight home. I didn't like cut by the elementary school like I used to during the summertime anyway. I'll do that during the summertime. I don't when school is in session. Never. Because if a person does that while school is in session, law enforcement where I live will get after you. Oh, they say, hey, what are you doing by the schoolyard? You don't work at the school, do you? No. Well, you're not supposed to be there. And who knows what they'll do. So best just not to go there when school is in session. It's best. Best for me anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to get my exercises in, and yeah, I got some YouTube videos to. Huh. Yeah, an open furnace. Yeah, it was here was 60. Let's see. Right now it's 65 degrees. It was 64 this morning. No, I haven't tried the Grinch punch. No, never tried it. I tried Hawaiian punch. It used to be like $1.89, but they've raised the price to 365 now. Yeah, they've almost doubled the price of Hawaiian punch. Yeah, your summer's in December. Your summer's last December. Yeah, where you live at 65. Yeah, where I live, it's usually in the 20s, 10s, below zero. And that in January. Yeah, January gets really cold. Not as cold as the central northern part of Minnesota, though. That gets real cold up there. That's why I won't live up there anymore. It's too cold. Down here, I'm considered warm. Yeah, people tell me down here, Randy, you're crazy. You walk in this weather and it's 5 below zero. I tell them, 5 below zero. There's a lot more days where it's 10, 20 below in Wadena because I showed them the temperature like here in Nome and Wadena. They go, huh? Wow, what a difference, they said. That's a big difference. Plus, up there, it's flat land in Wadena, and that wind kicks in, you better stay home. That wind will just whip on you. It's that cold, biting wind, unless you're that nutty pastor's dog, Diamond. Humans will stay in. Diamond, the jerk Mark Bateson's dog, the pastor kept cut in front of my yard in Wadena. Yeah, his dog, she slept in 20 below zero weather. Yeah, too bad I didn't film that, but I have to film it after I leave, of course, because while I'm there, he'd probably have me arrested, that goofball. Yeah, yeah, where you live, it's 105. Yeah, it was cool here today. It was very cool. Let's see, what did I buy today? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember Vern Gagne. Yeah, yeah, he wrestled in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, yeah, he owned the AWA with Wally Carbo. Yeah, he owned it with Wally Carbo. Yeah, yeah. But then after a while, when cable TV came about, Jerry the King Lawler, let's see, wrestlers I've liked myself. I like the Barbarian better than Ming or Haku or whatever you want to call that guy from Samoa. And let's see, I like Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Let's see, like Precious, of course, and uh, and I like oh, King. He's all right, but there's some I like better, to be honest. You know, I know he's more popular than all those wrestlers I mentioned, but yeah, the manager for NWA named the number one Paul Jones. I guy, yeah, he was funny. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess it depends on who says. I've heard stories that Andre the Giant wasn't afraid of anybody, and then well, I've heard that Bad News Brown said he once beat up Andre the Giant on a bus. I don't know. Yeah, I remember Mad Dog Vachon. Yeah, I read that in Canada he beat up some guy. What was it 6'7", 6'8" in a bar? He told Mad Dog Vachon that you can't beat me, and Mad Dog proved it and beat the hell out of him. Yeah, because that big guy, he didn't know what to do. you know, yeah, it's because those wrestlers, some are kind of small and some kind of pudgy. Yeah, yeah, he was. He was another tough guy. Yeah, he was another tough guy. Yeah, he won the war against Vern Gagne. He pile drived him on the cement floor, and Vern do nothing about it. So Bockwinkel did win that war. Yeah, because I saw that last match. He outside the ring, he pile drive Vern Gagne right on the floor. React to video classics to wrestling videos. Well, the only thing is, I don't want to turn on the wrestling videos on my YouTube channel because YouTube will flag me. Yeah, they're good at flagging you on stuff. They love flagging. I'd have to show the video and talk about it, but see, I'm not going to get many views. I've tried it with music stuff before, and hardly anybody watches it, So yeah, I got to get some money together and wrestle who? Who could I wrestle? I couldn't wrestle anybody. Yeah, professional wrestling school, you got to learn push-ups and do a ton of sit-ups, and you got to learn to take falls and stomps to the head, and you got to learn you got to learn to take it. Yeah, and those wrestling teachers back then, they were rough. Gagne was rough. Robinson was rough. The Iron Sheik, he was another name at the time. He was a teacher. He was rough. So was Brad Reagans. He was another teacher in Gagne's school. They were all rough. There's a guy like Brad Reagan stretching you, or Billy Robinson. God, that really hurt. I liked Ric Flair. Yeah, he was all right. Yeah. Was Jimmy Snuka a murderer? Yeah, I'm sure he probably did for whatever reason. I don't know, but see, they didn't convict him because he had Alzheimer's disease. Otherwise, he would have been convicted. But he had Alzheimer's disease, so they didn't really convict him because he was dying. But yeah, really quick. Yeah, I remember Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, yeah, I remember Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, he's another tough guy. Yeah, yeah, he always wrestled out east almost all the time. Yeah, sometimes they'll trade wrestlers around. They did back then. When McMahon Sr. was around, he was a fair businessman. When Vince Jr. took over, he just said, I'm going to do it my way, and if the other promoters don't like it, tough. That's what Vince McMahon said, and he did it. Yeah, yeah, and I remember a lot of wrestlers like Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez, the Von Erichs. Let's see. Oh, so all kinds. Oh, yeah, Sergeant Slaughter. Even the jobbers like Tom Stone, Chris Curtis, Jake the Milkman Milliman, what's his name? Mike Richards. Yeah, the punching guys. I seen him on TV. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen those guys wrestle on TV. Yeah, David Von Erich, of all the Von Erichs, I think by far he was the toughest. Yeah, he was the toughest of all the Von Erichs by far. Yeah, all the brothers even tell you that. Well, he's like, what, 6'7", and the guy could fly too. Until he got that stuff going to Japan or something. Enteritis or whatever. I think he got it in the United States somewhere. Then he went to Japan. He died at a young age. Wow. No, I'm sure he was. Backlund's a tough guy in real life. He's a champion wrestler in high school and college, so you had to be tough. Yeah, when you're a professional wrestler, you got to be tough. You got to go to wrestling school. And even the jobbers went to wrestling school. Even jobbers, we all laughed at. Any of those guys can beat an average person on the street, because a person's got to pass wrestling school. Better, better in what way? Not financially, no. But they didn't have Vince McMahon Sr. really talk or anything back then. No, Jesse Ventura. Well, and I used to watch those two guys wrestle. I liked Adrian Adonis better. He's more of my kind of street fighter. And I know until he turned fat and became the adorable Adrian. I'm talking about Adrian before the adorable Adrian, when he turned into a blimp, you know. Okay, in that way, yes, you're right about that. But the thing is, though, when Junior took over, he he knew how to manipulate. He knew how to talk to other wrestlers, promise us big money. In that one first WrestleMania, it was make or break with him. See, if that WrestleMania would have failed, Vince McMahon would have lost the World Wrestling Federation at the time because he put all his chips on that first WrestleMania, but then it succeeded. So then he made more and more money as time went by. Favorite wrestler in Minnesota? Let's see. Other wrestlers from Minnesota. I like Barry Darsow, known as Smash. He was from Minnesota. I like Rick Rude. He was from Minnesota. Kurt Angle was from Minnesota. Let's see. How many from Minnesota? Oh, yeah. Well, Greg Gagne's from Minnesota. So is Jim Renzel. Yes, I know that. And favorite bald wrestler. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, yes, he was. Favorite bald wrestler. Oh, geez. There's so many. So many of them. George the Animal Steel. Yeah, he was different. He was a different kind of guy with all that hair on his back and kind of looked like a hunchback, but he was a tough man. You ever see him in interviews? He's actually when he was alive, he was a very intelligent man. He had a brain, actually. But when he was a wrestler, they made him like he was some kind of idiot. But he was like no idiot, really. Yeah, he ate the turnbuckles, yeah. With his teeth, yeah. Unless they predid it where the turn made the turnbuckles weak, I don't know. I'm sure he didn't. I don't know. Yeah, you never know what they do in wrestling. Yeah, they have all kinds of gimmicks. Oh yeah, World Class Championship Wrestling, in one of the episodes, they had Sunshine flip over Percy Pringle, better known as Paul Bear in the WWF, World Wrestling Federation. You know, yeah, Sunshine gonna flip William Moody over. Get out of here. William Moody's like 5'11", about 240 pounds. I mean, if Sunshine can flip him over, so could I. And I can't flip him over because he'd kill me when he was alive, When William Moody was alive, I mean, that guy could fight too. Yeah, that guy could fight. Because I read too that Paul Bearer, known as William Moody, he was in the United States Air Force for 4 years. He served in the Air Force. I don't remember what it was, but he did serve in the military before, so he had to be tough to go through that. Jimmy Hart fan. I like that song. He was on a one-hit wonder song. Oh boy, let's see. What was that song again? Keep on Dancing by the Gentrys. Yes, he was on a one. Yeah, I remember Chief Jay Strongbow. Yeah. Yeah, it was on the song by the Gentrys, Keep on Dancing. He was part of that group, Yeah, I was proud of him. He was in a one-hit wonder song with a group of guys on the Gentrys, Jimmy Hart, way back in the 60s. Keep on dancing. Yeah. No, I don't use DoorDash or Grubhub. No. Yeah, I like Wahoo McDaniel better because Wahoo McDaniel, for one thing, was a real Native American or American Indian, which some people say. And I think he was tougher than the Strongbow guy. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I like a lot of Beatles songs. Some I don't. Yeah, they have a Beatles channel on YouTube where they continuously play music. There's usually like 275, 300 people on there. Yeah, Strongbow was an Italian. Yeah, and I liked Wahoo McDaniel. In real life, Wahoo McDaniel was a tough man too. A lot of guys wouldn't fight him. You know. Yeah, Beatles are a great group. Yeah, they were great as individuals too. Yeah, they were great as individuals too because I mean, all those guys succeeded in their own bands after the Beatles. You're never going to see that again, ever. It'll never happen again. Yeah, I like George Harrison. That's him and John Lennon are my favorite Beatles musically. I think, in my opinion, I think John Lennon would have beat Paul McCartney in popularity of songs, but the trouble was John Lennon was politically opinionated, being against the conservatives. And Paul McCartney stayed out of the background until he became a member of PETA. Um, you know, PETA organization, ethnical treating of animals. Yeah, Paul McCartney's part of that. Yeah. Once he got his big bread, he said, "Yeah, what the hell?" You know. Yeah, Yeah, Ringo Starr is a much better drummer than Pete Best because I heard Pete Best is drumming. He's his drumming was so bad he made Carmine Appice look like Gene Krupa in comparison. Gene Krupa, the drummer. You ever see Gene Krupa videos? That guy can play the drums. A lot of drummers humiliate that guy, Gene Krupa. I heard his name even before the internet. The drummers used to say to me, "I copy Gene Krupa." I said, "Who's that?" He said, "He's a jazz musician guy. We all liked him." He was, yeah, that's what drummers used to say to me. Yeah, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Well, yeah, let's see. I like the Beatles better. I like the Who better too. I'm more of the Who. I like the Who. Yeah, Rolling Stones are much bigger. I like the Rolling Stones. I like their songs. Some are controversial, like "You Need Someone We Can Dream On." I have to look that up sometime. Blues Brothers. Yeah, yeah, they're all right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ringo Starr. Yeah, he was. Yeah, the popularity of songs. He had the least hits, but he did have a lot of hits, though. He had a lot of hits. They all did. They all had tons of hits. More, they had more hits than most people, each individual. They had more hits than most singers and bands. Because if a singers and bands can be like a one or two, even a two hit wonder, you succeeded. You know. Oh, favorite John Lennon song. Let's see. Let's see. I like Mother. I like Cold Turkey. Um, excuse me. Yeah, those kind of songs. Yeah. Yeah, I like those kind of songs. Yes. Yeah, they have a Beatles channel on YouTube, an actual Beatles channel where you can listen to music all the time. And there's a chat like mine, but they have like over 200 people in the chat room. Yeah, they have over 200 people at least all the time. Sometimes they have 3, 4, 500. They kind of disappeared on me lately. I wonder if I'll check and see if it's still around. See if it's still around. Let's see. Let's see. Oops. Come on. Let's they shut down their live broadcast, they must have. Let's see. Oh, wow. Nope, I guess they're not on live anymore. You were before? I guess they're not anymore. Oh, my sweet Lord, yeah. Yep, my sweet Lord. Al Jolson fan? Not really. He's not my kind of music. Yeah, I'm not an Al Jolson fan, no. Not my style. That's all right. Those of you like Al Jolson, that's okay. That's all. You like what you like. Yeah, you like what you like. It was a different era at the time, you know. I haven't watched the whole movie. I should sometime. Yeah, Jolson goes way back. That is true. Yeah, Al Jolson goes way back. So does a lot of band members and a lot of musical groups, a lot of orchestras and all that in country music. Yeah, country music's been around way longer than Elvis. Elvis fan, I some of his songs are okay, but you know, yeah, I found a tape, a cassette. I found a CD for $1 at the thrift shop. He had it for $1.50. Then he put it $1 in the clearance bin. I bought it, and this lady says, "You bought Elvis?" I said, "Yeah." "Where'd you find that?" I said, "In the clearance bin for $1." "Really?" I said, "It was there for at least a week because I saw it last week and I saw it this week." I was surprised it was still there. I thought it'd be gone in it. I thought it'd be gone like that, but it took a week till I bought it. At least. Oh, that was CD for $6. I got one for $1. Yeah, yeah, I got one for $1. Yep, I got it for $1 at the thrift shop in Mankato. Yep, let's see, I gotta think of the name offhand. I can't think of the name. Darn. Yeah, Elvis's greatest hits with 30. Yeah, the one with the 30, Elvis one. Yeah, I got that for $1. Yeah, that's terrible. Any kind of murders out there is terrible. Yeah, any of them, because I mean, children and babies and innocent people dying like that. I mean, innocent people are dying every day in wars. I wish wars would totally stop. Innocent people are dying every day because of war. Innocent people, as we're speaking, some innocent person's dead as we're speaking right now. Sad. I hate seeing that or hearing it. Yeah, yeah. He's gone. I never liked that guy. He's weird. Yeah, he messed with the wrong person in the jug, and that guy he met in the washroom took care of him. Yeah, he didn't like him, but now that guy's got tacked on an extra life sentence, though. Yeah, I remember Chris Benoit. Yeah, yes, yeah, he went overboard. But before he went overboard, I used to like him as a wrestler. Yeah, very talented, but he used his head so many times it must have scrambled his brain. Turned to Alzheimer's disease. Yes, he did. Or they said before he died, they tested his brain. They said he had a brain of an 85-year-old with Alzheimer's disease. That's what they said. He had a brain of an 85-year-old man with Alzheimer's. That's how bad Chris Benoit was, but still, I think you could have tried to stop what, I mean, this, wow, I mean, just destroyed his family. That's bad, it's horrible. Yeah, I felt sorry for Nancy Benoit and her son. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, yeah. just, yeah, too many hits to the head. He used his head for headbutts often. Loved using his head. And well, one thing about, speaking of that, I remember when I used to play a sport called soccer for a little bit. Here these idiots, they bounce the ball off their head. That's stupid. Best to bounce it in front of your body. Let it roll right to your feet. Much better. Use your body, goes down to your feet. Much better than dumb head things. The head is as good, goes everywhere. Plus, it'll scramble your brain too. You know, because I mean that soccer ball is hard when it goes up in the air. Yeah, I bet some of those idiots that do it bounce with their head. I bet they get headaches later on. I go run to the store and get aspirin. You know, yeah, they gotta run to the store and get aspirin. Yeah, yeah, that's what they got to do. Well, sorry about that, everybody. I gotta go. You know, I'm past 10 o'clock. Rolls in the apartment. You know, I can't really be loud past 10. It stinks, but I gotta follow rules. So, see everybody later. Have a nice night.